Hi there, Christian Henson from Spitfire Audio here. I'm really excited to get my hands on the new Bernard Herrmann Library. Now, I've literally just downloaded it, 136 gigabytes, took me 5 hours, which wasn't bad off Wi-Fi either. I'm really just can't wait to get in there. But basically, I've been working on a cue that has a kind of, I don't know, kind of a malevolence to it that I'm enjoying. But the samples I'm using, brilliant that they are, a combination of our chamber strings and our symphonic orchestra. They have a kind of silky quality, and what I'm looking for is a cue with a lot more swagger. So I'm hoping, basically, with my first kind of literally pull it out of the tin, is to literally duplicate all of the instruments I can and find kind of instruments that complement each other in Bernard Herrmann and try and mix the two together to get something that gives me more of a kind of Elfman-esque kind of swagger, an imperfection, a bit of kind of grit to it. So this is the track as it currently stands, and again, this is basically chamber strings, a lot of the brass and woodwinds, and then I've got things like the concert grand and a few bits and bobs from our orchestral percussion range. So here's the track as it currently is in its silky glory. So I don't really know what you'd call that, a bit of kind of orchestral funk or something. I really enjoy making stuff that's a little bit dissonant and malevolent like that. I think I like the cheeky quality of that kind of music. Okay, so basically what I've done is I've gone through every single track I've got, and I've tried to come up with a similar track or instrument or a complementary instrument in the Bernard Herrmann Library. So we've got the pits here, and then the Bernard Herrmann. Again, has a much more kind of raucous feel about it. What I've done with the Bernard Herrmann stuff is I've stuck it out of its own bus. So if we go down here and go to the Benny track, and basically I've stuck it into the Lexicon chamber. So let's hear it without. There's a real closeness and immediacy to it. Let's unmute that. So this is the native Lexicon bundle. Just gives it a little sense of a bit more kind of in a space, and then I've given it a splosh of the TC6000 there. So hopefully that should marry now with the chambers better anyway. When still has a kind of raucousness that I like, and I'm not hiding Air 1, I'm using that room as well. So we've got a combination of different perspectives there. Okay, so I've matched up all of these pizzicatos, the col legno. The spiccatos in the chambers, which were particularly silky, with Bernard Herrmann, a lot more raucous. We've got the flautando, again very silky and lovely. Now this isn't a case of either or, I just think they both kind of add something to it. So we've got our first and seconds legato, which I've put into octaves on the chamber strings, and then the Bernard Herrmann. So I'm just going to keep the lower octave in those. We've also got our trems, which I was doing a trick, actually, I don't know if you saw as I ran through, where I was just... I've stuck a bit of delay on as well, so these dial-ways sound a bit more natural. But it just gets bites above the surface. The Bernard Herrmann trems. Again, very, very beautiful. And we don't have harmonics in the Bernard Herrmann. So I've just used a flautando. Again, has a very beautiful quality to it. So the chambers, and now the Bernard Herrmann. Very kind of smooth, rounded. You hear a lot more of the rosin there. We've got our things like our kind of contrabassoons and clarinets. Nice rounded kind of tone, and then with the Bernard Herrmann, giving it a real kind of raucousness. So I've worked my way through. We've got things like the horns, and then in the Bernard Herrmann, again, you're getting that reflection is adding a whole new something to it. The trombones, kind of quite regal sounding in the hall. A little less so in Air 1. We worked through all of the woodwinds, some trumpets. We've got some great combinations here. So I've used both Schuyler's harp and the vibes. But in Bernard Herrmann, we have both combined, which is nice. I'll turn that up a bit, actually. Great sound. And then there's going to be stuff that we don't have in the Bernard Herrmann stuff. But what is great is we've also got this kind of toy kit of percussion. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to whack on something I wanted to do but couldn't find in our orchestral percussion range, is a little bit of a momentum at the very last little kind of section there. So let me record that first and foremost. Awesome. Obviously quantize the bejesus out of that. Let's put a little bit of swang on it, and let's have a sense of what that's doing. Okay, so here's the big experiment. What I'm going to basically do is I've color-coded all the things that we've got duplicates or complements in Bernard Herrmann. And basically, all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them all down, literally just do a simple copy, and then I'm going to colour them all pink for Tom's benefit, and then run them down, see what you think. Hopefully you'll agree that it adds a kind of a swagger, a rawness, and this is just literally, I'm copying, duplicating regions. Naturally, I would then go in and really kind of sort out the kind of the men from the boys, if you know what I mean. So let's play this down and see what you think. thanks for watching. If you like the video, hit like. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, I really humbly would recommend it. We put up loads of stuff that isn't just about the products we do. We also have top tips and up-and-coming talent, all sorts of stuff that's really exciting and we really enjoy making. So anyway, thanks again for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.